I wish there was a way to tell how much space we have left on this card. We have probably 40 episodes on this card.
Yeah, there are a lot.
At some point while we're recording, I'm telling you, this thing's just going to like lock up.
Stop, yeah.
But at today, fingers crossed, that is not the case. This was your pick.
It was, yeah.
And it is not, I know you're all in, like, you're probably all at, who was this? You're probably all waiting with bated breath as to what the big reveal is going to be for the 100th episode. It's going to be Silence of the Lambs. Just kidding. That's going to be 101 because I don't know how to count. I'm not going to tell you what 100 is. You're going to have to wait till next week. But this week was your pick. Sources provided in our notebook, a comprehensive look at the 2026 film landscape, primarily highlighting the release of the acclaimed crime thriller Tuner. How did you find this?
How did I find Tuner?
Yeah. And don't say it was just because you saw it from a poster at the State Theater. You can tell this show is on the fly because she didn't have a response loaded up. You what?
I got distracted.
See, this is what happens when we go to Canal and we have one of their, what did you have, a lemon tart
A delicious lemon.
What was that thing?
It was like a lemon, like a actual lemon, like a fondant lemon.
But
and then
it was
inside there was like...
It's not pastry. What do you call that?
I don't know.
It was a dessert cake in the shape of a lemon, colored like a lemon, with lemon.
It looked just like a lemon, more like a fake fruit lemon.
It was like a lemon made as a cake. It was a cake of lemon
with no cake in it. It was more like lemon mousse and lemon. It was two different kinds of like lemon something delicious.
One was mousse and the other one was cream.
Yeah, maybe, and one was like really tart, and it had like pieces of lemon.
I swear to God, that guy can do no wrong.
Oh my gosh!
You know, every time you go in there, it's a new experience with cake and pastries.
Yeah, but that's not why I got distracted. I shouldn't read email.
You were reading email?
Yeah, because the email came through about my apartment, and I needed to know if it was anything important.
Are you getting thrown out
later? No, it didn't say dear
for all
Lisa.
These orgies you're running in here?
It didn't say that.
It didn't say that? They didn't catch you yet, eh?
No.
Okay. Well, I know. Wait a minute. Let's not get distracted. We were talking about fondant. She's giving me this look. Everyone knows you don't run an orgy in this apartment. It's simply not big enough. I had, which I got to tell you, I'm a little surprised that you didn't pick this one up. I had the mango version of what you got. You being the Indian, you should have gotten that one.
Yeah, but lemon is like, I love lemon. And I really had to try that one.
Matt Kino doesn't even know that we do this podcast. He doesn't even know who we are, but we love his pastries. So if you're in the Ann Arbor area, visit Canal on, what street is that on?
It's on Washington Street in Ann Arbor in downtown, but there are other locations throughout Michigan.
There's one, I think I told you, in Keego Harbor. There's probably one in Dearborn, because I believe that's where he's from, but oh my God.
Is there one in Brighton or Novi? What's the closest one to you?
Well, I don't know if there's one in Novi, but I know there's one in Keego Harbor, because I met Jackie there once for a meeting. But anyway, Tuner, how'd you find out about this?
Honestly, I think I was looking at the Michigan Theater website to see what was playing, and I came across it. And it looked good, and I wanted to go see it. And I would say, I mean, obviously I think we'll talk more about it, but the preview and the movie were a little bit different to me.
Really?
Well, I guess it makes sense, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. The movie was just...
What's making you say that, though?
Like, the preview looked really good and looked quite intense, but then the movie was more intense, I guess.
Well, we'll get into it here, but I'm wondering did they spend more time in the trailer, do you feel, talking about his tuning and his hyperacusis? Is that what it is? Hyperacusis?
No, I think they didn't actually. Like I didn't get the headphone detail. So like,
it seemed like in the preview they were pointing out that, hey, this guy tunes pianos, but he can make more money cracking safes. He gets involved with the wrong crowd.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, exactly.
And then you find out that
there's a lot more to the story.
Yeah, the main character, played by Leo Woodall, he's a piano tuner, but he suffers from a hearing condition that allows him to excel as a safecracker. That hearing condition is known as hyperacusis, which in essence means he is allergic to loud noises. It's almost so he has to wear these earplugs that are attached all the time because regular sounds
it's too much.
It's too much for him, and loud sounds would be cripplingly painful.
And he also carries around and wears most of the time too a set of headphones, right?
Mm-hmm. For like just being outside,
like over the ear headphones, like
ear protectors, like the people wear when they go to a gun range.
Yep.
So this was directed by Daniel Rohr. Mm-hmm. And it says he was an Oscar winner. What else did he do?
I know, that's what I was looking up before we started, and I didn't finish. But I'm wondering. Let's see.
Well, you keep looking.
Okay, I got it.
So, Leo Woodall is the key character, his character in this is Nikki White. And again, he plays a piano tuner with this hearing condition. But when he's on a job one day and he stumbles on, he's in these really nice houses that have a piano, and he's in there one day or in the evening, and he hears somebody making noise upstairs, and he happens upon, I think their cover is that of a security company,
right. Mm-hmm.
But these rich families let them come in and work on the security, but while they're in there, since they're working on the security, they know how to circumvent everything. So they're trying to crack into a safe, and it's funny, what are they, Israeli, or there's some other, or Albanian or something, and the leader of this crew is a real hothead, and he gives Nikki little bit of a hard time, but he says, if you want us to be quiet, help us open this safe. We have permission from the owner. And Nikki gradually finds out that this guy's just a crook.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, he just finds out that this guy's a crook, but there's so much money to be made.
And I really do think the first time, I mean, maybe that's just my
he didn't really
naivety, but I really think the first time he's like, yeah, okay, I guess I'll help you out. We're in the same place at the same time or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then it turns very quickly into like, this is going to be something they want me to do all the time. And this is not good.
Yeah.
These people are not good people.
So, Cracking Safes provides texts for critical reviews, box office data, and interviews that examine the movie's narrative use of tactile sound design. That was something that got a lot of talk in all of the sources you pulled up, mm-hmm. was how much effort was put into the actual construction of this film around sound design.
Yeah.
Well, you were telling me something the other day about, I don't know if you remember the sound designer, but he played the role that was, in this particular movie, it was second to the director in terms of he had to create a universe for this movie that was, it's a movie, so it's a visual art form, but so much of this movie has to do with the audience experiencing the universe of the movie through his perspective, which is mostly, it's not like he's blind, but auditory. So sounds are muted, things are turned way up at certain key, like when he is attacked by that guy and he uses the air horn on him, you as the audience feel that, mm-hmm. because they crank up the sound so much, and Leo does such a great job of portraying somebody who's in pain, who's hearing loud noises. Who else do we have in this? Dustin Hoffman plays his mentor, the guy who owns the piano tuning company. And you find out later that Leo wasn't he a concert pianist or something?
He was going to be a concert pianist, and he was really, really great and talented at what he did, and then he developed or got this, what do you call it again?
Hyperacusis.
And
I hope I'm saying that right. Keep talking, I'm going to look it up.
and it affected everything because he was, like they say, allergic to sound, and so he couldn't play, but he had a really good ear for tuning pianos and getting the right pitch. And it's a really involved job. I guess I didn't even really think about...
Well, he has perfect pitch.
Thank you, yes.
Which is... That's such the thing that throws me when I meet a new person is, especially when you are developing a relationship with them, when you discover out what their talents and acumen are. When you meet somebody like... Again, trying hard not to use the word like and when you meet someone who has an ability or a talent that is absolutely not something that you possess. For example, anyone who has perfect pitch can hear a sound or hear a note and know where that falls on a scale. Like, is that A, that's B sharp, that's F sharp, that's a C, C flat.
Yeah, details I
have no idea how to reference that.
I don't even know where to begin.
Or how to identify that. And then, again, this was a movie that actor doesn't necessarily know that, but that is a talent that some people out there, I know it's exceedingly rare. But through this ailment of hyperacusis and having very, very tuned in, his ability to hear things is so jacked up that he uses that ability to crack safes. And the way they portray it is he can just put his ear to the tumbler, and as he's turning the dial, let's see if I get this right, there is inside a tumbler in a safe door, there are discs, and there is a notch in a disc that I don't know what you call the actual lever that has to slide into it. When it goes over it, there is a slight tick because there's a gap in that disc that this hammer, for lack of a better word, has to go over. But when you stop the dial on that hammer, it will slide into it when you change the direction.
Yep.
And he can hear these things, and to the average person, you got to get in there with a stethoscope, and he didn't do that. He could just put his ear to it and roll it on over. So let's go through the characters. You want to do that?
Sure.
Harry Horowitz was Dustin Hoffman, who was that's not just me talking, you know.
Oh, well, you started, so go ahead, keep going.
No.
Okay, Harry.
This is a back and forth.
Okay.
Don't forget that.
I won't.
Harry
Horowitz he has a business tuning pianos, and I would say Leo Woodall becomes like his apprentice, and he's learning from him. And I would think, too, that he's going to take over the business when Harry dies.
And the first 20 minutes of the film are kind of funny, in that Nikki's this, I don't know, late 20s, early 30s kid. And Hoffman, Harry is, he's old. He's clearly older. He's 70s, I would say. Talks to himself, grumbles, says things that are a little socially off. Eats in public loudly. He's at
the age where he doesn't care what anybody thinks, so he does and says whatever he wants, whenever he wants.
It's great to watch that because Hoffman has done so many characters like that.
He's really good.
Yeah.
It was nice to see him in this movie.
It's
He
fun
did a
to
good
see
job.
him like that, yeah.
So he and Nikki work together. Harry and Nikki work together. And then there's his wife, who, if anybody watched Nobody Wants This on Netflix, that actress was the mom.
Tova Feldschuh
Yeah.
plays Marla.
Plays Marla, thank you.
Right.
She's married to Dustin Hoffman's character. And she's kind of like she's like the sensible one. She's like, this is how things are going to be done. And like, there's no argument, but of course Dustin Hoffman's character always
just
wants to
kinda
argue.
like, I don't know,
He's like,
whatever.
no, yeah. Anyway, so there's that relationship. And then Leah Woodall's character falls in love with Ruthie.
Played by Havana Rose Liu.
Yes. Who
She's a concert pianist.
she is. She's like studying piano at the big school there, whatever that is. I'm sorry.
Because they're in New York.
And she's working on a recital piece that's coming up, and her piano's out of tune, and so he comes obviously to tune the piano, and she's like, well, how long is this going to take? And like, I think she's really,
She goads him a little bit.
she does, she's really skeptical about like, who are you, what are you going to do? I need this time to practice. And I think she kind of tests him like for his perfect pitch, which of course he has like excellent pitch. And so yeah, anyway,
They kind of develop like her adversarial push against him, like, hey, my needs are important.
yeah,
What do you bring to the table? Even if you're just a lowly piano tuner. And she kind of figures out, well, this guy's really got he knows his
He's
stuff
actually,
when it
yeah.
comes to. So that's where the romance kind of buds from, is that she develops a respect for him, begrudgingly.
yep.
And then, let's see, Uri, leader. They are Israeli criminal group. Uri, who played by Leor Raz, recruits Nikki after witnessing his skills. Unlike I'm reading this from what we worked up here. Unlike a standard mob psycho, Uri is a psychological manipulator who recognizes Nikki's superpower, but ultimately infects the film's most brutal violence upon him, rupturing his eardrums later in the film. And then Marseilles Meisner is played by Jean Reno, his character, Marius, is a composer.
Sorry, say it one more time.
He's a composer.
Who is his character?
Jean Reno.
Yes, I'm sorry, yes, I wasn't comprehending.
Who Ruthie wants to apprentice for, but at her recital, she really has to knock her recital out of the park in order to sort of bend his ear and catch his eye.
Every year he chooses one student from the program that Ruthie's in to be his apprentice, and she, like you said, really wants that position, but she has to work hard for it.
And
because everybody wants that position.
right, Marius he's clearly wealthy, and I guess this isn't giving away too much. There is a section of the movie where Nikki is out, cracking safes with Yuri over a month, I believe. Him and his relationship with Ruthie develops, and he gives her a really nice watch.
A really nice watch.
Which is clearly old.
Yes, it's like an heirloom.
Yeah, it's clearly an heirloom. But that and another watch were taken from, unbeknownst at the time, from Jean Reno's character's home. And when she sees it, she doesn't recognize that it would have belonged to this composer she wants to work for. But she was it a Rolex? Was it an old Rolex?
I think it was, yeah.
With a pearl band.
A pearl band. It was beautiful, yeah.
Which was very, like, you could tell it had some agedness to it. And I believe the other, I don't know, was the other watch a Rolex, but it was a vertical twin-dialed watch, which you don't see that many of.
honestly, I can't remember, but they were both very rare and very
I remember on the second one, and it had I believe, like a green back panel. It was a beautiful watch. The other one, but the one that he gave to Ruthie, she looked at it and she's like, "Where'd you get this? This is not the kind of thing that you would go out and buy somebody you've been dating a month."
Right.
And I can't tell why. It seems like it could be really valuable, and like it triggers all these little alarm bells with her.
There's clearly an engraving on the back that's very sentimental to someone. So it's not just, again, something you picked up for someone.
Right. And the sentiment doesn't relate to Ruthie at all.
Yeah,
so she's confused. Which I find this funny when you see these kind of character flaws or mistakes in movies with the characters who are. You would think any guy who's buying a present for somebody, like if you're going to have something sentimental behind it, it should relate to the person.
Yes.
Like I'm looking at this, I'm like, why would you buy that, or why would you give her A, stolen property,
right,
and B, if it's engraved on the back. I know you looked at it, or you should have. Why this just seems like a wildly inappropriate gift. And I know it kind of moves the story forward, but I don't know if you caught it when we were watching it. I really had a problem with that scene. Like, if you have brain one in your head, you're not going to give your woman a watch like that after 1 month. It's clearly worth something, and it's not something, you're never going to find something like that at a garage sale.
No. And even Ruthie, I mean, we probably already alluded to this, but was like super taken aback. She was like, "I can't accept this. This is like really nice, and I appreciate it, but
there's something off here."
Without directly coming out and saying, "You can't give, I can't accept, you can't give me this kind of gift. I can't take this from you." I mean, she did.
I think that was kind of a way to build the respect with her as a character. The fact that she would say no to that.
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
Also, side note, the lady that plays Ruthie was in Power Ballad for a short time. Who was she? Nick Jonas's love interest.
That was her? Oh, yeah.
And also, I was reading about her, and I find this kind of cool, but her parents, I don't know what you call it, developed or made the Knot website, the wedding website.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And I was like, that's kind of cool. Go your parents.
What did that do? I know it had to do with weddings, but
it was like a way to plan your wedding. It all in one place, kind of.
Oh, I gotcha.
Like, they have a magazine and stuff like that.
Let's see. Primary driver of the plot is medical debt.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I know that was a big part of it.
So, Harry, you can kind of feel this coming because he's an older guy. And they go out to lunch one day, and does Ruthie come into the restaurant? Is that what happens?
She does.
And there's some back and forth with. Go ahead.
She might have already been sitting there.
It's somehow
all three of them are at the same restaurant bar store.
And Dustin Hoffman with his big mouth
for breakfast early in the morning. By the way, sorry.
Sees that they're about the same age, and he just jumps right in. He's like, "You guys should spend time together. You guys should date." And they're both like, "Stop!" And he really shoehorns them together and makes Nikki walk her back to class. He's like, "Carry your books." He's like, "I don't like the implication of that." "What do you mean implication? It's just carrying books. Do it." And he forces them to spend time with it, which was ultimately the best move. But when he returns from taking Ruthie to class, there's an ambulance because Harry suffered a heart attack. And when he is in the hospital, Marla is the wife's name. Marla's there, and they get hit with the fact that it's going to be about $30,000 worth of bills, which this is a movie because if somebody who's not insured suffers a heart attack, it's going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars, $30,000. They just needed something manageable for the movie.
Yeah.
But
I thought it was 136,000, but
well, no, I'll look here.
I think it was.
No, okay, here it is. After Harry suffers a heart attack and is hospitalized, Nikki discovers that Harry and his wife, Marla Tova Feldschuh, are facing $36,000 in unpaid medical bills. Desperate to save his mentor from financial ruin, Nikki accepts an offer from Uri, the leader of Nazis, Israel, leader of an Israeli criminal group that uses a security company as the front for robbing wealthy homes. So he gets a commission, or he gets a piece of the action, and he is paying off Harry's debt. But, and this isn't really giving it away either. I always feel like what you don't want to tell is the ending of the movie. So Nikki is able to pay off the bulk, or this debt, but Harry doesn't survive. And during that exchange, Uri recruits what's our butt? It's hard. Names are hard for me. What's our kid's name?
Recruits Nikki.
Nikki. He won't tell him what it's for because all the time he has him come out to a job site. These are really nice homes.
Yeah.
But they go to one house, which is by the airport, and this house is a dump.
And yeah, it's not like the nice mansions they've been going to.
And Nikki ultimately is like, what the hell's going on here? And it's set up to make you think that this is some kind of a drug den.
Yeah. He also shows up, side note, usually he would go with the bad people to the job, but Uri contacted Nikki and was like, come to this spot. And so Nikki pulls up to this spot, which, like you said, is a house by the airport, not one of the beautiful mansions that they've been going in. And so then he enters the home.
And there's a couple of other guys there, and you find out that these are people affiliated with the homeowner. And a few of them have weapons on them, and they're doing coke. And it's not Nikki's scene. He's uncomfortable, but Uri is a bulldog and pushes him to open the safe. And when he finally does, there is a stuffed animal inside, which is really disguising a crypto wallet. The owner comes home, chaos ensues, and the owner holds everybody up.
Very intense.
And he's furious, of course. And it makes you wonder First, I was wondering, is this some like super rare plushie that you can sell on eBay for $1 billion?
I know. I thought it was like a Lububu doll or something.
Right. And then you find out it's just a cover for this crypto wallet.
Inside is something more valuable.
So one of Uri's guys, who is a real softie and has a dog and who's kind to Nikki, gets the drop on the homeowner and shoots him dead. And chaos ensued. People are running around. They're freaking out. The cops are coming. And at some point before the guy gets shot, Uri drops the passcodes for the wallet.
Oh yeah, they fall out on a little piece of paper.
Right. And this is the other thing that I think was kind of, they glossed over this entirely, because I don't have a crypto wallet, but I think there tends to be a number of keys that you have to put in the right order. And Nikki took one look at this and memorized all 6 or 8 words.
Codes, yeah.
And then this guy who ends up getting shot, the owner, tells him to tear it up and eat it.
Yeah. Right there in front of him.
Right. So I'm like, why would you do that, man? Why wouldn't you just open it later, move it, and create new codes? But chaos ensues, and somehow Nikki escapes with the wallet. And aside from this ailment of hyperacusis, he has perfect recall, and he can remember all of both the order of the words, the what do you call it? Capitalization and the case of all the words and the order.
I thought they were just all in capital letters. But
Maybe, but he from memory opens this thing.
Yeah.
And there's $18 million in crypto in it.
Yes.
So I remember as we were, I didn't lose you, did I? No.
No, sorry, I just moved my mic.
I remember thinking, I'm like, if this kid was smart, because Uri pressures him to get it back, and some people are put under the gun, shall we say, to recover that, because Uri's not going to let this go. He also just committed a murder.
Right.
I'm like, if this kid was smart, he'd just take a little piece of it.
Yeah. So that no one would know.
And they reference that later in the movie, but it's like all of those scenes, it happened real quick, so you really got to pay attention to the numbers. But that was, I think my thought is this movie got better the longer it went.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I liked it. I liked it start to finish.
Yeah.
But the pace ramped up, I want to say at around the 30-minute mark.
Okay.
30-minute mark. Now, of course, we're not going to give away the ending, but this kind of had, would you agree, this kind of had like a two-part ending?
Yeah, I would. The two parts being Ruthie's,
the issue that she ends up having with him at the very end, when she makes a certain discovery, and actually the composer makes a certain discovery.
Yeah.
That was the key one. That was the key second part ending. And, well, yeah, that was that, and then how Nikki makes it right. Because prior to that, we thought it was the end when he was rushing to her recital.
Yes. Yeah. And then there was more to it, because after her recital, yeah, the famous composer, that thing. And then what was the other part? I said multiple parts, not thinking it through.
Well, he was his relationship,
finishing up with Uri.
He shows up to her recital, but he gets there late, but she's still moved by it. And then she discovers this thing, which puts her job in jeopardy.
Yeah, the watches.
Right, the watches.
And that they were stolen from the famous composer.
Right. So that's where we'll, just between you and I think that's where we'll leave people hanging, so they see how things were resolved.
That's a good, okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, we don't want to give things away.
What I would say, though, was, so there's something that happens to Nikki physically. And
yeah, you can't tell.
Yeah. While we were listening to reviews of this, we had an AI review made of this movie, and I think the AI reviewer got it wrong, because it said that he lost his hyperacusis, and I don't know if that's true. And it also sacrificed his perfect pitch, which I also don't think is true.
I agree with what you're saying. Yeah.
This is where we're at in 2026 with AI, in that it does help you organize a lot, but hallucination is definitely still a thing with artificial intelligence. Whenever we're doing these reviews, we like to take a ton of different sources and mush them together. And as we've said before, Notebook AI will make a podcast with two AI-generated voices doing the back and forth, but we use it as reference material. And one of the things they always do on every podcast is they agree with each other in using the same verbiage and the same intonation. That being, when they say things like, "It really does," or "That was absolutely the case," just to form an affirmative point. That's all I had.
Okay.
You're looking at me like I was going somewhere. That's
yeah.
just kind of the thing, is that when we're listening to these, it's both to kind of snicker at AI, but also to get the facts about the story straight. I don't believe that the character lost his hyperacusis or lost his ability, his perfect pitch ability. But the wrap up was very clean. So again, we like to see movies that are narratives that wrap up pretty neatly at the end, and this one did. Did you have anything else about the? I was going to look at studio. I didn't want to cut you out of.
I would have just added that, as we said before in the beginning, that the sound was a major part of this movie. You know how, like, in movies they say, like, the setting is the character in this movie. You know, for example, the setting is New York, and then New York is a character in this movie. In this movie, the sound was a character, and like Jay said before, the sound person really, like, I don't, for lack of better words, did his job well. Sitting in the theater, you really felt and heard what Nikki was hearing, and it was just as painful and I don't know what the other word is I want, but it was just as painful as Nikki listening to it, or having the hyperacusis. And I mean, you kind of felt like you had it too. Like the sounds were very heightened.
So Johnny Byrne was the sound designer.
Oh, this is really interesting.
Byrne's approach was deeply personal. At age 19, he suffered from acute hyperacusis himself for 6 months after an accident, an experience he used to explain the condition to Roar and guide the film's sonic landscape. His goal was to use the unique environment of a movie theater to directly demonstrate Nikki's disability by playing sounds at levels that became momentarily painful for the audience, mirroring Nikki's distress. So Uri uses an air horn more effectively than a knife or a gun on Nikki. It's almost like his kryptonite.
Yeah. Oh.
When he wants Nikki to do something, or he's irritated with something, he sprays him with the air horn, and even if Nikki has his plugs in or his ear protection on, the guys will rip the ear protection off and hit him with the... Oh, yeah, you can just feel like...
It was so bad.
You know what this meant? I don't know. Have you ever had an earache?
No.
I can talk about this. So when I was probably 4 or 5, I was prone to ear infections, particularly in my left ear. So I had a ear, nose, and throat doctor, Dr. Nelson, in Traverse City, and this is in the early 80s. Dr. Nelson is no longer with us, but he advised my parents to put tubes in my ear, which was it was relatively a new procedure. Now they can do it with kids. They do the surgery through the ear canal with local anesthetic. Back then, they went through the back of my ear, and they almost cut my ear completely off.
Yeah.
While they're doing the surgery, not like accidentally, but to get access, to get more space to access my eardrum. Okay. And they made an incision in the eardrum because I would hold fluid behind my eardrum and would push the eardrum out. So they make a slight incision, and they put, like, it looks like a grommet as a tube inside that slice, and allows fluid to drain from the interior of the inner ear outwards. And then they would take it out once everything a few weeks had gone by. But since then, the surgery was all done, the scar tissue formed, and it closed my ear canal.
Okay.
Because of the pressure in there, when I had the tubes in there, or right beforehand, I suffered some nerve damage, which is why I have a bit of a hearing loss.
Okay.
But I think I've shown this to you before. There's a clear scar on the back of my left ear. And when the scarring closed, it closed the ear canal. So anytime an ear, nose, and throat guy looks at that, he's like, I can't see all the way in there. That's why.
That's why, okay.
So I would be prone after that to earaches. And I can count on maybe one hand how many times I got them. But they are debilitatingly painful. And what happens is, it's almost like you can feel pressure so strong that I can hear the blood coursing through the eardrum. Like I can hear the pulse. And any noise, I don't know that it becomes amplified, but it's almost like I'm getting hit in the side of the head.
Yeah.
And I had one when I was in Chicago that I don't know how I got it, but I was in so much pain. And actually, I talked to Frank, our buddy Frank, and he told me to do something else. But he said, if you just use vinegar, that'll kill the bacteria. And so I used a little bit of vinegar inside my ear, and it instantly made it worse. So I went back, because I did this when I was at home for, I want to say it was a Thursday. I was home for lunch, and I know we're digressing from the movie, but I can't help it. I went back, and I had a client who was a doctor who I did mailing for, and I couldn't get a hold of him, so I talked to his secretary, and I'm like, hey, I got this earache. It's incredibly painful. I couldn't even walk by the end of the day. It hurt so bad.
Yeah.
So as we're watching this movie with Nikki getting sprayed with the ear horn, I'm like, I know exactly what that feels like. I know exactly what that feels like. Like, I had double vision. I could, thank God I didn't have to take the freeway home. I only lived a couple miles from the office, but this secretary was a sweetheart. She got my message to him, and he called in a prescription for the antibiotic and the painkiller, and I went straight to Meyer. I picked it up. I went home and I went straight to bed. And I took this stuff, and the thing that was fun is a little gross, but I don't care. When you have an ear infection, and you take the appropriate antibiotic for it, it kills the infection, which this thing did. I remember taking it and lying down, and I took the pain med too, which was strong, but did nothing. And I mean nothing. And after about an hour, the antibiotic was kicking in, and I could hear this popping in my ear. I heard and it slowly became like pop rocks. And that was the infection dying.
Yeah, okay.
And I had to put paper towel all over my bed because it would drain.
Yeah.
It was but it was amazing because it was like pop rocks were inside my ear.
Yeah.
And then the pressure
It's gone.
slowly dropped, and I passed out. It the gore that comes out of your ear when you have ear infection sucks, but by the next day it was gone. I couldn't believe it. It amazes me when you feel anything that intense in the body. It's almost like the body is telling you there is repair for this, but you're doing something that's so far out of whack that I have to make you feel this.
Yeah.
But all that to say, the sound design was the reason why I told that story is the sound design in this was so good. It brought back memories of, because I had one when I worked at KD Mailing. I had one when I went to Hawaii and I went scuba diving or snorkeling. I had one I think I had one in college, and I had one in grade school. And they were all the same experience, like not being able to stand up. I ran into walls. It was the worst.
Yeah.
And when I heard this air horn thing, you didn't look over at me, but my whole face winced up. I'm like, oh my God, I know what that's like. It's so awful. So subjectively, the three ways of hearing. This I found interesting, and I just want to touch on. We're almost at time here.
Okay. Is this from the sled deck cards?
Is there a slide deck card?
Sorry, I didn't mean to go back to what you were saying, but I think
This
I looked
was from. Hold on. Oh, I'm all screwed up here.
I didn't mean to
What
say.
did you do to me? Good Lord. Themes.
You were looking at what? 3 different.
I was looking at the. Hold on. Crime thriller. No, I don't even know if this was where I was. Look what you did. You messed me
I know.
all up.
I did.
This
Sorry.
is all messed up. Medical Dead.
I know you said something about the studio.
I'll have to find this here.
Sorry.
Tonal fluidity gene. I don't know what this is. Why not? Creating harmony out of chaos. Oh, sound and technical. Okay, here we go. Hold on, everybody. I actually have things to say. I don't know if they're going to be earth-shatteringly important, but hyperacusis. Okay. 3 auditory profiles. To achieve the consistent in-head point of view, the technical team developed 3 distinct ways of hearing that the audience navigates throughout the film. No ear protection. This profile is characterized by bright and intrusive sounds where normal environmental noises are weaponized, as the case with Uri and his air horn. Small ear defenders. This provides a muffled, engaged version of the world representing Nikki's typical way of navigating daily life. You can kind of feel this when the visual point of view changes. And large ear defenders. This profile offers a state of near silence, allowing the auditory retreat into Nikki's mental focus, particularly during high-stakes safe-cracking sequences. So there's so much here that we try to limit these to 45 minutes, but there's no way that we can get into all the nooks and crannies of this movie. But we have a whole section here on the microphones that were used to attain all of this. That's probably something that we should mention. Didn't they use a special microphone for...
They used a special kind of, I guess it was a microphone, a special kind of sound engineering or something to bring, to make this sound.
I've got a list here.
Oh, okay.
So, conduction microphones to record the safe mechanisms. Byrne used microphones that stick magnetically to the metal and capture vibrations. Yeah, this was it. Conduction mics. So you get a completely different... You can't manufacture this sound. They use these conductive mics to attach to the safe to pick up the sound that you experience when it's traveling through metal. That stick magnetically to the metal and capture vibrations rather than airborne sound. This resulted in a percussive clarity for the safe's click-clack crunch that feels physically resonant to the listener. Also used Dolby Atmos. Film utilizes spatial audio and create a directional and subtle dense sense... Getting old is the worst. Sense of dread. For instance, the sound of a drill used by thieves upstairs is placed specifically in the ceiling speakers, forcing the audience to coax their hearing towards the distant and strange sound. That was the amazing thing about this movie, is sound moved the story from scene to scene, not dialogue.
That's true. It did. Yeah.
So if that sounds of interest, check it out while it's still at the. Oh, that was the other bit about the AI podcast. That I pointed this out to you and you agreed was the budget versus the return.
Oh yeah, uh-huh.
The audio
said
that this had around a $7 million budget.
I think, yeah.
And it was considered successful because it brought in a little over $7 million for the box office. I'm like, that's not a success at all. That's a massive failure. It hadn't done. Actually, while we're talking about this, look it up on Box Office Mojo.
I am, yeah.
Because aside from production costs, you have distribution, you have marketing, which tends to be 2.5 times production budget. At least classically it did. So this is a current movie. I'm sure it's still in theaters around, but Box Office Mojo should give us a accurate number as of this date. Are you there?
Yep.
Go ahead.
For domestic take home, it was like under. It's not 5,000. It's 500,000.
What was it say in the?
It's 4098235.
4098235. 40982. Yeah, that's 4 million.
Oh, okay. I have a hard time reading big numbers.
Uh-huh.
And then internationally,
Yeah.
Almost 6 million.
So what was the 4 million? That was the budget?
That was a domestic. I don't have the.
Oh, okay. So internationally, is that 4 plus 7? That'd be 10.
Yeah, so it made about $10 million worldwide.
Okay, so in the past week since you made this, it made another $3 million.
Yeah, when we started our research, it wasn't doing so well, but now it's gone a little bit up. Right?
Still, yeah. What's it say about the budget?
I don't know where to look for that actually.
Well, they said it was 7 million on the construct that you made. It doesn't have a budget section.
Not that I'm seeing. No, I can look at on.
Yeah, just Google what was Tuner's budget.
Yeah.
I'm betting it was around 7. Clickety clack, clickety clack.
Not with my heels, with my fingers on my keys. It has the same information.
What's it say?
It doesn't have a budget number.
Huh. Well, one of the sources you pulled referenced the AI podcast.
Yeah.
Said $7 million. So I would say it's got a ways to go. Ooh, that's me. You know what that means? That means we're at time.
Oh, okay.
We're way over. So that's it for today. What's coming up now? Oh yeah, I didn't do a recipe. Your loss. What do we got next? Disclosure day.
Next we have disclosure day. I'm coming close. I might be at the box office.
Oh.
No budget details. Sorry.
All right, you lose, people.
Also, one last thing before we go.
Yeah.
The director of this movie also directed an Oscar-winning documentary.
Which was?
Called Naval Knee? Some political thing.
We'll have to get on that next time. Buzzsprout's going to hit me hard for being overtime. Hugs and kisses.
Okay.
We'll talk.
Thanks for listening.
Toodles.